but through a partnership with a national lab and Wells Fargo, I think this is a perfect fit because now we can get those proof points. There's tremendous capabilities at these facilities. So something that really is complementary to our team.
So knowing that de-risking the technology is an important early step in the evolution of your company, at some point you're going to be out there looking to raise expansion capital. Can you tell us a little bit about how you're currently funded and then how you see that unfolding and what kind of timeline do you think you're on?
Well, we've actually raised money from a number of different sources. So if you think of all the possible sources, that's how we've raised money. So friends, family, fools, grants. We have some investor money. As an entrepreneur, I've learned you've got to be creative. You know, we also brought in close to $400,000 from strategic partners, so window companies and others around the world. So you know, what that's given us, we actually have already commercialized the technology in a first market, the privacy market, which is not the energy market, but I'll get to that in a second. Again, going back to being creative, we had to find a first market that gets us to revenue. Because getting to revenue means traction, and that gets a lot of attention from investors in the broader communities. But the big step in this valley that we're in is how do we access the energy markets? How do we get those proof points? And that's what we're in now. So having a first market, the privacy market, having the partnerships and the proof points, that bridges that gap, that gets us into the big markets. That's how we will scale our technology.
We also have a wide range of funding as well. In fact, we got a grant from the Tomcat Center, which is at Stanford University, where the founding team is from. And we also have gotten grants, and applying to grants, we're applying to RPE Open, we're applying to the NSF SBIR grants. We've gone to some business plan competitions and have gotten some awards there, so we've gotten funding that way. And we also identified a company, Panal Energy LLC out of Arizona. They've been interested in working with us as well, so we see them and other strategic partners as future funding that if they're interested in continuing the relationship, that they would help us with in-kind funding or just helping to finance projects.
Well, great. As a closing comment, I would just want to give you a little bit of clean tech lore. Back in the early 1990s, there was a company called Solar Cells, Inc. That company, with some investment from the Walton family, became First Solar, almost a $10 billion market cap, and arguably the United States' most successful thin-film solar company. And the federal government had a substantial role in bringing that technology along. The Department of Energy had funded the National Renewable Energy Laboratory to assist First Solar in the early days, again, in that de-risking step. So I think you'll be in good company. I'd love to see a $10 billion market cap for each of you in the next 20 years. All right.
Thank you.
So I'd like to introduce the next conversation. Denny McGinn is a guy I've known for many, many years in his private sector capacity before becoming the Assistant Secretary of the Navy for Energy, Installations, and Environment. Thanks, Denny.